Crazy People is about an ad man, Dudley Moore. His character's name is Emery Leeson, who is beginning to have a mental breakdown. He feels like he's lying in his job all the time, so he decides to write truth in advertising. And so, like, an example of a couple of his ads would be Volvo, boxy but good. We know they're not sexy, but boxy but good. Or Quaker Oats. Is the cereal good? We don't know, but at least the box is cute. So all of these ads are written up, and his boss sends him to a psychiatric hospital for evaluation and treatment, and mistakenly all of his ads go out to print, and they are a huge success. He falls in love with Kathy, who is played by Daryl Hannah, at the psychiatric hospital, meets some new friends there, does not want to leave the hospital, and all of the folks there begin to write ads with him. So it's a very, very cute, very engaging movie, and the ads are hysterical.
When they found out that they were filming a pretty major motion picture with a very major star, I mean,
Right.
Dudley Moore's just coming off of Arthur. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
What did that do to the Roanoke creative community?
I think it excited them because Paramount Pictures, this is the big league, and they use so many different locations here. So it had been quite a long time since anything major had been made in this area. So folks were quite happy to be involved.
Ooh, I have to do that one again.
That's all right.
Sorry. Gonna have to start the silence phones on the set.
Hey, I was looking on YouTube, and Todd, and a lot of the ads are on there. Like the ad, the one that I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them are posted as separate little clips. I don't know if you need that, but it's kind of fun.
We're still rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's just do that again.
Okay.
Tell me what it was like in Roanoke when they found out a big motion picture with a big star was going to be coming to town.
It was major excitement because Paramount Pictures, I mean, it's huge. And several different locations were used. A lot of local people were used, some with lines, some as extras. But it was nice to be recognized in this part of the world, to have some assets, for filmmaking.
What? Tell me about your.
Hold that thought. I'm sorry.
Thought is being held.
I thought.
I never notice these things until I start rolling, so.
It's okay. I work in the biz. It's no big deal.
We're still rolling.
Okay.
Tell me about how you ended up in the film.
A complete fluke. I was at
Can you start with saying the way I ended up in
Oh,
this
okay. You
film,
want to do the complete?
because
Okay.
You're not going to hear Todd.
Right. Okay. The way that I ended up in the film is just good luck. I was at the scene at the Grandin Theater. It was a large scene which involved a lot of moviegoers, and I was asked by Mark Fincannon, who was doing some of the casting, to come back to a smaller scene the next day. And so I went to that smaller scene. It was for a call center scene with operators taking calls for a product called VitaFlex diet program. The first 2 seats in the scene were cast with lines, and suddenly the director came up to me and said, "Can you say, 'I don't know about the plant, sir, please hold'?" And I assured him that I could say that consecutively. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, that's how I ended up with the line. I went from being an extra to a day player that day.
What was the experience like?
It was great. It was a little nerve-wracking because I knew having a line in a SAG-eligible picture was a big deal. I made $414 for my one line and received royalties for about a good 8 years after the picture was released. I also got to meet Dudley Moore and just met some really great people.
What made the Grandin shoot such an interesting thing?
Okay, the Grandin shoot was interesting because the Grandin Theater was used as a movie theater promoting a film by Paramount Pictures. Let me try again.
Can you sit back a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
You look like you moved compared
Okay.
to where you were before.
Sorry.
And my focus. Stand by my
Yep.
focus.
I'll stay right here.
Look at Todd.
Garrett.
All right. Take it when you're ready.
The Grandin Theater was being used for a movie theater in the film, and the marquee was very interesting. When I first arrived at the Grandin, I noticed that it had been covered up, and I wondered why. There were several hundred people there. When they unveiled it, the marquee shared that the movie was called The Freak, and the tagline was, "This movie will not only scare you, it will blank you up for life." So there was a few concerns about having that on the marquee, and I think a lot of folks were a little shocked when the covering came down.
All in all, what did you think of the experience? The whole thing. What was the experience like for you?
The experience was very fun and very exciting. Again, I went from an extra to someone who had a line. It was great to see someone like Paramount Pictures behind the scene do what they do. Everybody on the set was great. I hope that those type of projects come to this area lots of times.
Do you think the importance of having an active, creative community in a town the size of Roanoke is?
The importance is that it's unique. Because of our size, I feel that we can be more personal, and that we have so many talented people here in the Roanoke Valley. It's not that we lack the talent. I think we somewhat lack the exposure. And once folks come here to film or do television, they realize what